Yes.
Mr. President, the Ambassador designate. Mrs. Clock.
This is Mr. Kathrada from our office, Mr. Ambassador from Department of Foreign Affairs, and Mr. Lolo from Ahmed Kathrada. So, how are you? This is from my department, from Foreign Affairs, from Department. Yes, how are you? Well, you can proceed.
Your Excellency, first allow me to fulfill the privileged task to convey to you and to the government and people of the Republic of South Africa cordial greeting of His Excellency Mrs. Slobodan Milošević, President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Please be assured of our most sincere wishes for peace and prosperity to the friendly people of South Africa. Let me admit my great excitement on this occasion. I have the honor and joy to address the President, the present credential to legendary leader of the liberation movement, to the person and to the President whose name is among landmarks of the progressive events in the 20th century, to the personality whose prudence, patience, and morality are a symbol of human dignity. Today's and tomorrow's South Africa, highly respected by all democratic and peace-minded people in the world, is inseparable for your deeds. As the first Yugoslav ambassador to your beautiful country with huge potentials in all respect, the leading country of the continent and the prominent worldwide, the chairman of the non-aligned movement, the Rainbow Nation and the generator of the prospect and the Africa Renaissance, the rare country that chose the brave and peaceful path on its transition process, please allow me, Mr. President, to assure you that I regard my mission of representing Yugoslavia as the highest and most noble challenge in my entire professional life. I believe that my mission will be held by my experiences and achievements as an acknowledged sportsman, as Deputy President of the City Council of Belgrade, University Professor, and the long-term Minister in the Federal Government. No energy and no abilities will be spared to further strengthen and deepen the internationally friendly and cordial relation between our two countries and our peoples. That endeavor is even more strengthened by our great sympathy for the efforts and endeavors South Africa has undertaken up to this day in further reconciling and developing into a society of full prosperity, peace and justice. Mr. President, it is Yugoslavia's pleasure and pride to reflect on times and decades before the first free election in South Africa in 1994, when Yugoslavia is one of the founding members of the United Nations Organization and the non-aligned movement has had the vision and principle to support and help the just struggle for the liberation of the South African people. Your Excellency, as you well know, the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia is today one of the most difficult periods in its modern history. Recent policy of the world powers in the Balkans is governing only by their own interest. On March 24, 1999, the NATO forces committed aggression against Yugoslavia. The aggression is blatant contravention of basic principles of the UN Charter and international law. It is well known throughout history that my country, people were always oriented towards peace and cooperation. We highly esteem our freedom and sovereignty. From South Africa, from our traditional friends who struggle for an honored, peaceful resolution, the Charter and the principle of the UN, international law and morality, Yugoslavia expects support for this just and peaceful approach. We highly respect your recent government statement to condemn aggression against Yugoslavia. Especially with regard to the imperative need of peace in Yugoslavia, the region and Europe is sustained. We would be honored if your Excellency's visit to Yugoslavia as a response to the Yugoslav President's invitation was realized as soon as possible. Your Excellency, Yugoslavia is looking forward to the further overall development of our two countries' and people's relation. Due to no historical factors, the present level of overall cooperation is far beyond real possibilities and wishes of two friendly states. My mission in your respective country is aimed at significant progress and in all fields of present and possible cooperation. on bilateral and multilateral political levels in the United Nations Organization and its bodies, in the No Alarm Movement and other international and regional organizations. We are open for broader cooperation in economy, science, and technology, culture, sports, and other areas. Do my utmost best to contribute to even warmer and closer friendship between our peoples. We shall focus our special efforts on the development of cooperation in economy. I am convinced that the present level in those areas can be improved by many times in a relatively short time. The development of overall bilateral cooperation will be significantly enhanced by signing of 8 bilateral agreements that are currently being negotiated. With regard to the role being traced for the prosperity of our peoples in our two countries, please accept, Your Excellency, my best wishes for all mutual success. Good luck, Tlatla, Ms. Lasla, Hlakvens, Srećan. In this spirit, and with my full devotion, Mr. President, it is a great honor to represent my country in South Africa and to present to you the letters of credence by which the President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, Mr. Slobodan Milošević, appoints me as the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia to the Republic of South Africa.
Well, thank you very much. We are honored by receiving you as representative of your country. Yugoslavia has played an important historical role in the formation of the non-aligned movement. Marshal Tito, together with leaders like Colonel Nasser, Jamal, Pandit Nehru, and Rommel of the Philippines were the leading figures in the establishment of the non-aligned movement, and together with President Sukarno of Indonesia. And therefore, we have inherited something from the leadership of Yugoslavia. It is our hope that we'll be able to deepen and expand our relations. We, of course, believe that peace is the most important weapon that human beings have in solving their problems. Our experience is that there is no problem so intractable that it cannot be solved peacefully. We were able in our country to confound the prophets of doom, who predicted that there would never be a peaceful transformation in this country without a civil war, in which the whole country would be engulfed in bloodshed. We had the courage to reconcile our feelings, which regarded the policy of apartheid and its leaders as repugnant, and our brains, our thinking, which said you can never bring about peace in this country without talking to your enemies. One of the shameful things in life is that human beings should slaughter one another when they could sit down and resolve their problems. We wish that the world will one day reach a stage where they will realize that the use of violence against any community is something that puts us next to animals. And I have the hope that the leadership all over the world, and in Europe in particular, will grasp that lesson, because using violence to address problems, you stop development in a country, you destroy the infrastructure, and innocent lives, men and women and children. And, but I sincerely hope that the leadership of Europe will be able to resolve these problems. Can we take a vote? are you?
Mr. President,
Very nice.
it's a pleasure to meet
Honor
you.
to meet you. This is Mr. Kathrada from my office.
Pleasure to meet you.
This is Anthony from the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hello. Some protocol.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I am.
Mr. President, please also allow me to present my staff members
Oh, yes.
and our daughter.
Oh, yeah. I have to say. Well, nice to see you.
And the challenge.
Yes? How are you? Very well. What's your name? And how old are you? Oh, good. You're a big lady. When you're big, what are you going to be? When you're old?
Doctor.
A doctor? Well, now I have a good doctor. You'll be my doctor. Okay. Good. How's Mr. Kathrada?
On the road. First project.
Andrew Anthony, and Salvador Tarado. Good. Thank you. Well, how's the president? Is he good?
It's very well.
Very well. Good.
I convey his best wishes.
Thank you very much. All right.
Mr. President, it is an honor for me to confirm that the President of Hungary, acting on the advice of the Prime Minister, has designated me to represent my country in the Republic of South Africa and as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary. Now, on this occasion, I'm presenting my credentials to you, Mr. President. Allow me to first call your attention to the long-standing and close relations between our countries and our peoples. That closeness comes in part from the sympathy and admiration that we have felt toward the democratic aspirations, movements, and politics of South Africa and the South African people. Within the overall South African political efforts, we have been aware and appreciative of your personal achievements. I'd like to note also that a spectacular progress in the political processes in the democracy took place exactly at the same time in the early 1990s in both of our countries. As one result of that, we were the first in our Central European region to establish a mission here in Pretoria, and you in turn opened your embassy in Budapest. And since then, our relations have been progressing at a steady course. As the third Hungarian ambassador in line in Pretoria, I'm grateful to be given the possibility to contribute, however small ways, to that progress. Mr. President, I convey to you the best wishes from Hungary's President, his Prime Minister, and the other Hungarian leaders who I hope will have the opportunity soon to greet you in person. At least, I convey to you and the South Africans the most heartfelt greetings and good wishes from the Hungarian people. Allow me, Mr. President, to hand over to you the letter of recall of my predecessor and to present the letter of my invitations.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for us in South Africa to receive an ambassador of your state. You mentioned the fact that the relations between our two countries have a long history. That is true. And we can only illustrate that by pointing to my friend here. He spent some time as a young man in Hungary. He had originally to go to the conference of the World Federation of Democratic in Prague. He spent some time in the And of course, don't forget that the enormous assistance gave us at the height of apartheid. Not only in rhetoric, but by giving us the resources to conduct this government. And we're very happy to have a man to come about at the representing country. Thank you very much. Can you take the phone?
magnificent country into a democracy. New Zealand responded by opening a resident mission in Pretoria. The 1996 Cape Town communique, signed between yourself and our former Prime Minister Jim Bolger, set in place a modern foundation for cooperation between the new South Africa and New Zealand. Since then, our two countries have built an increasingly warm and friendly and constructive relationship based on a commitment to shared ideals. We are discovering also the extent of our shared interests. In multilateral affairs, we are working ever more closely together. In the WTO, the Cairns Group, the Valdivia Group on environmental issues, and we also stay in close touch on Antarctic and fisheries issues. And of course, on the great struggle to achieve international disarmament and arms control. New Zealand is equally committed to achieving a vibrant and mutually beneficial bilateral relationship. To this end, we were pleased to convene with your government late last year the first New Zealand-South Africa Relations Commission. The Commission's principal focus is our economic and trading relationship, and in support of this, we will be working for enhanced links between our respective business communities. But my government sees many other areas of possibility for new dialogue. These might include sharing the experience of models for the reform and restructuring of the public sector, as well as for agriculture, the environment, education, and the redress of historical grievances concerning the land. Mr. President, as the struggle for freedom from the oppression of apartheid moved to its culmination, New Zealanders took to the streets in their thousands to show their solidarity. Well over a decade passed before New Zealand and South Africa could once again join together in one of the world's great celebrations of sport, our rugby rivalry. But New Zealand hopes that our rugby relationship, I won't mention cricket, will be joined by other sports. We would be delighted to see Bafana Bafana in New Zealand. We also hope to see much greater interaction between the women's sports teams of our two countries. As nations, we could hardly be further removed geographically. We are separated by many miles of ocean, and there is no doubt that our relationship would be accelerated by better aviation links. This is something both governments might continue to explore. So many synergies do exist, not least in tourism. The possibilities are exciting. Mr. President, New Zealanders warmly remember the occasion of your visit to our country in 1995. Now, some 4 years later, it is the turn of South Africa to host the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. The Commonwealth link is an important strand to our relationship. It binds us to South Africa and to other African members in an enduring way that is very special in today's world. New Zealand looks forward to participating in the Durban Summit. Mr. President, I greatly look forward to serving your country as High Commissioner for New Zealand. I thank you warmly for the opportunity to do so. I am greatly honoured to offer you my letter of credence as New Zealand's High Commissioner to South Africa and the letter of recall of my predecessor.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor for us to receive you. I already apologized to the then Prime Minister Bolger for what we did to the All Blacks in 1995. And I also must express my humble apology for what Hans did, the captain of our cricket team. I'm sure those are going to deepen our relations because I have no doubt that the New Zealanders are going to want to retaliate. But we do not forget the support that you gave us during the darkest period in our struggle, when you cancelled the sports links between New Zealand and South Africa, and all the other resources that you made available so that we could conduct and win the struggle. And we are confident that you play an important role in deepening and expanding those relations. Let us take a photograph, because I do want to upgrade myself. I'll take a photograph. When did that?